Hello there, Kyle Katarn here, coming to you live from Katarn Studios. I thought I'd hang out with everybody for a little while, just talk about what's going on with Star Wars, and crack open my new helmet. That's right, I got my hands on a 187th Legion Clone Trooper helmet from Star Wars, and I'm very excited to bust this sucker open. But first, hello there. How's it going, everybody? Jake, I'm glad you got in here, man. I got myself a shiny new bucket indeed, and it is always a good day when it's new helmet day, right? The stream has begun, as they say. What's up, man? How you doing? Ronan was among the gang that was with me when I picked this sucker up. I was at Galaxy's Edge on May the 4th on Star Wars Day, and I saw it at the trading post, and I just had to do it. Hey, Connie, how you doing? Woodsy's here. Sackboy's here. Tim's here. We're all here. I love it. You will notice, okay, so first of all, there's a little bit of damage, some dents on the corners of the box. Galaxy's Edge is in Anaheim, California. I live in Seattle, Washington, so you do the math, all right? I had to check this bad boy on the flight. As much as I would have loved to have it on my carry-on, this is a large box, all right? This is a big box, and honestly, it came through pretty unscathed. I'm gonna dive in detail into the actual box itself here in a minute, but I will say, just right off the bat, it's so much bigger than the Black Series boxes, and they've been slowly making the Black Series boxes smaller over time. Here, you know what? I have them in a stack. Let me go grab one as an example. Okay, so check this out. This is the very first Black Series helmet that ever came out, right? This is the Stormtrooper. Not quite a square, all right? It's a rectangular box. Decent size. They've been slowly like slimming down the corners and the angles. Here's the most recent Black Series to come out, the Rex, the Captain Rex. Look at the shape of that. They've taken this entire corner in, and the box itself is way smaller, and you can actually I have a stack of these in the closet for moving and keeping them ready to go, as any good collector does. But just for size comparison here, this is a massive box. It's so big. So if space is of an issue, maybe don't keep the box on this one. I'm going to keep the box though. Bigger boxes mean bigger helmets. You're absolutely right, Devil Dog. I'm going to be comparing this to the Phase 2 Hasbro Black Series Clone Trooper helmet that came out. Got it sitting right here. This guy, one of my favorite helmets, actually, that Black Series has ever done. And an interesting fact about this new 187th helmet is that it is not a Black Series helmet. This was just straight put out by Disney. It's just a Star Wars Clone Trooper helmet. Voice changing helmet with sound effects. But as far as I know, this is the first non-Black Series official Star Wars helmet. So I'm going to be interested to compare the quality difference there. You're absolutely right, Zach. This is the clone unit of Mace Windu himself, the baddest motherfucker on the Jedi Council. And that's why you'll notice the livery has purple and teal on it. I think that was a deliberate choice for sure. And it's also kind of a new change, too. The 187th, that was his Legion in Clone Wars. It is canon, but we never actually saw them until I believe it was a Lego set. That's right, the Lego fighter tank set came out with the 187th. That was the first time we actually saw them with these similar markings. Before that, we saw them in the Siege of Mandalore briefly, and they had like brownish markings. So there is a change going on with the livery there. I feel that. I feel that in my soul. Oh man, you guys should see what it looks like. Just off camera. It's nothing but like boxes everywhere. It's gonna slowly spill over into the rest of the house soon enough. You're right. It is unrelated, but I'm very excited about it, and there will be a trailer reaction coming very soon on the channel. Not this channel though, Grizzle Wizard, my other channel. Oh man, my Rebel Season 3 reactions. You know, that was the very first reactions I ever posted. You've been watching for like 6 years, and that's blowing both of our minds right now, actually. I forget about how long I've been doing this sometimes. So, before we open it, I want to just like admire the box a little bit here. It looks like, at first glance, it's just like a cool busy pattern on the back behind the helmet. But if you get in close there, if I get too close, I'm going to lose focus because it's not set to autofocus. But these shapes, they're all things from Star Wars. Like we've got crossed sabers in there, little droid heads, a Darth Maul, a land speeder, a B-wing. Like there's no like rhyme or reason or category to them. They're just like all these tiny little things from Star Wars all over the box. It's a really cool pattern actually, and I hope it shows up in other things. Honestly, I'd wear like a collared shirt with that print on it. That'd be cool. One thing that I like about the Black Series helmets is that they have like in-universe, if you will, diagrams of the clone helmet stuff. Like there'll be little arrows with descriptions, and the descriptions in an Aurebesh, and it's always kind of fun to translate those. This box doesn't have any of those. They're not messing with that Aurebesh nonsense over here. Very, very hopeful for both of those. I think Sabine is much more likely than Django at this point, though. Okay, we do have some little information bubbles on this back piece, but it's not, you know, there's nothing to translate here. Full scale adult helmet, interior padding included, real character phrases. Oh, nice. Okay, so it's not a voice changer. It actually plays dialogue. That's a difference. Voice changing effect. It has both. There you go. I think it's time. Let's open her up. Park Forces was an absolute blast. It was so much fun. Really hoping I get to see everyone else again soon. A bunch of us are going to Celebration Japan, so that's going to be like a little reunion. I picked this one up at the trading post at in Anaheim, and I'm pretty sure they were selling it all over the park when I was there, because I saw it also in Galaxy's Edge proper, a couple different places. But I got it on May 4th down at Galaxy's Edge. You know, I've had this helmet sitting there for a couple days, and I was wondering when was the right time to open it. And I did get a haircut today and a beard trim, and I was like, you know what? It's gonna fit in the helmet the best today. So that was my sign to that was my sign to go for it, honestly. Let's open this baby up, shall we? And yeah, speaking of rings of power, I couldn't find any scissors, and the only cutting implement within arm's reach of me was this. So I guess this is my celebration that Rings of Power is coming back. Let's go. Ah, the dreaded side tape that I always forget about. It's always important not to cut towards yourself when you're using a bladed weapon. Do not, ignore what I'm doing. I'm a professional idiot. Okay, I'm allowed to do this. There we go. Made by the elves, you know. Or open it up. Let's check it out. Cushioning. Gonna be a lot of cardboard. Whew, man. There's quite a, like that stale air, like package air smell wafting out of this thing right now. This was on a shelf, and then it was thrown on a plane, and it's been through like 4 different like pressurized environments. So like, I'm not surprised it smells kind of crazy in this box right now. And here we go. Looking good. Oh, we've got a little, what is this? Came with a little cushion as well, I think. Oh, this must be the interior cushioning that goes inside the helmet. We'll put that there for now. This thing is beefy. This is a large helmet. Okay. The colors pop a lot more in person than they did on the box. There's some pretty dark looking colors, and I feel like even the purple is a lot richer. Or where do I hold this? There we go. I feel like the purple's a lot richer in person here. Looks like it's showing up pretty good on the camera there too. Very nice. You can see some of the detail. You know what? I'm gonna refocus my camera for this one. Definitely worth it. So look at the carbon scoring along the front. It's got this reflective metallic purple, or the metallic color over the purple there. Like it looks pretty good. There's also some dirt marking, like you can see the yellowish coloration on the side here. Yeah, the colors come out really nice. And I do notice that all of the damage seems to be on the white parts, and the teal is like perfectly factory clean all over. So that's a little interesting. I'm not sure if that was an oversight or they just happened to leave those areas clean like that. But yeah, this thing looks pretty good. Yeah, the wear and tear is important, especially for a Clone Wars helmet, because I really feel like it is a relic at this point. It's like a historical helmet, because the Clone Wars were so far in the past compared to where we are timeline wise these days. You know what I mean? Oh, that's weird. Got some separation going on right here, and I'm wondering does it split off in the middle? Oh my goodness. The entire back is stretchable. I've never seen such a thing on a helmet before. That's Disney's alternative to having the sizing straps inside, which Black Series always runs with. Yeah, that's I was not expecting that. Does it slide all the way out? Oh, look, it's got these little pieces of material on the sides so it's an expandable helmet. That's awesome. You know, that's actually really cool for people like me who have larger heads. It's really not one size fits all out there. All right, we're not all clones. I'm very impressed with that. I did not expect that detail to be listed. I haven't seen that mentioned in another review. The 187th, famously, Mace Windu's Legion. Pretty highly represented, honestly. When I went to Disneyland on May the 4th, there were 187th Clone Trooper helmets. There were Black Series figures of Clone Troopers and Clone Commanders, and there was a 2-pack with Mace Windu with a Clone Trooper from the 187th. So they're really pushing that Legion right now, which has been canon for a while, but only visually represented recently. And it's making me wonder if we're going to get some sort of an on-screen representation of these guys sometime soon. Would be cool. Yeah, if you've got a big head, this helmet is for you. Look at this thing. You could fit 2 whole people in this bad boy. No, it's a good feature. It is big head friendly for sure. So if that's a concern to you, you don't have to worry about it with the 187th here. Yeah, no, this one's really cool. And in comparison, because let's bust out this Black Series Phase 2 here. You know, I think the Phase 2 might actually be bigger. Look at that. It's lining up the bottoms. Wow, it's actually a lot bigger. Interesting. Yeah, this is a bigger helmet. I thought the opposite would be true. This one came in such a bigger box. Very interesting. I got this at the trading post at Galaxy's Edge. Pretty much that's all it takes to get a whole merch line produced in Star Wars, right? Oh man, I'm still not focused. Give me a second here. So the 187th, it's an interesting choice, really. We got this Legion before we got the 501st. Seems like an odd choice. The 501st is such an iconic Trooper Legion. Everyone who's ever played Classic Battlefront, that was the icon. You know what I mean? That's Vader's fist. It's the most storied and definitely the most well documented clone legion in the Clone Wars. But it seems interesting to me that we start with this guy. Well, I shouldn't say start, because we started with the shiny, and then we got the 332nd, which is 501st adjacent, and then we got Rex, who is the commander of the 501st. So I would have thought that the next logical conclusion would be a 501st trooper, or maybe a specific one, you know, like hard case or heavy. But either way, I like how like off the wall of a choice this seems to be, and that kind of leaves the door wide open for all the other like cool random clone battalions. Like I would love to get a 104th helmet. I want to get like a Wolfpack thing going. Like the gray on the white just looks so good, you know. The 501st, like they're the two most iconic ones for sure. And the 501st being the big ones, I am surprised that we haven't got one yet, you know, just with the regular blue stripe down the center, the classic. But yeah, I'm gonna try this thing on in a second here. In terms of the sculpt, like I it's hard to find a flaw in it. It does look pretty damn good, especially for the price range. I'm still very impressed with the expanding back piece here. I think that's kind of a cool idea, and I'm surprised I haven't seen that sooner, you know, honestly. All right, let's take a look at the interior here. So here is where the Black Series and these helmets really seem to diverge. Clean as a whistle. Not a greeble in sight, ladies and gentlemen. This is like fully smooth in here. It's like a Ken doll in there. One thing that is kind of cool about the Black Series helmets is that they do have like in-universe greebling, and you see like technology. You see where the vocoder goes. You see where the respirator goes, and like you can actually sort of like glean how the helmet works on like sort of a technological level just by looking at the detailed interior. This is not the case here. This is very much smooth. I'm sure it makes for a comfortable wearing experience, no doubt about that. But like, I don't know, there's a little bit of immersion involved with, for example, here, let me hold up the Black Series Phase 2 helmet so you can see. Look at the interior there. Not only does it have like the custom cushioning at the very top there, but like you can see technology spread out on the faceplate here. Like this is what filters toxins from the atmosphere and like lets you like be in a battle when there's dioxis gas and things like that. And you've got your vocoder up here to transmit all kinds of different little components. Of course, none of them are real. They're all made of goddamn plastic, but like how hard is it to vacuum form a couple bumps and lines into your interior? Yeah. Black Series is definitely leading the charge in terms of quality with these replica helmets. For the price range of this one though, and for what it's giving you in terms of a display piece on the shelf, like absolutely worth it. But that is a big difference. That is something worth noting. There's not as much detail in the interior. All right. I think the time has come to try this baby on. You know what? I am too. While I was at the park, I also saw that there was a Biggs Darklighter helmet. I don't have that one yet, so might have to get my hands on that and do an unboxing soon. Hell, if I do that, I'll like shave off my beard but leave the mustache. Really get into character. Here we go. Moment of truth. Does it pass the beard test? Because if my beard sticks out the bottom, we got a problem. Okay. Okay, not bad. Let me lower the chair a little bit. Visibility is terrible. I cannot see my hands at all. Okay, now I can see my fingertips, but like right here, I have no visibility whatsoever. Yeah. Okay, my hands are now disappeared. Can't see them. Jesus. There's a rather rigid piece of black plastic right there that kind of digs into the bridge of my nose. I think it's sitting a little bit too high. Look, I've already got a little red mark right there. You see that? So that's good to know. Maybe it's not as big head friendly. Maybe if I pull that back and put it on, let me see what this does. Oh, you know what? I think maybe that's how it works. You're supposed to pull that back to put it on, and then it. No, it's It's still pretty profoundly uncomfortable in here. I'm not gonna lie. There we go. If I wear it slightly sideways, now my nose is like here. Now I can fit in here. Oh man. Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting. This is definitely more of a display piece and less of a piece you would want to wear. I would not cosplay in this for a whole con. My nose would be like bleeding by the end of that, I think. Whew. Yeah, that was actually pretty rough. I wasn't expecting that to be as uncomfortable as it was. I guess that's what you get when you have just hard plastic against your face, right? There's nothing really to cushion that except a rigid piece of plastic that your nose is like the bridge of your nose is supposed to rest on. See if I can get the camera to focus on that piece right there. Yeah, no, this one could use this foam padding that came with it. Unfortunately, based on the little Velcro pieces on this, I don't think the foam's going to go anywhere that helps my nose, and that's really what my issue is. So let's see here. Where do we put these? Oh, I see. Does this already come with batteries in it? Oh, we're loaded up. We got batteries already. Let me try and let me give you my best clone impression here. Nice. That one's just a yell. Can you? Whoa. It is kind of changing my voice a little bit. Not much, but interesting. The speech sounds like it's a little bit garbled. Can you guys understand what I'm saying? That's very interesting. I've got a bad feeling about this. Well, that's cool. Yeah, it's it's like broadcasting from here. The power button is in the center there, above the battery pack. It doesn't. I'm not sure who that is. Is that Tim or D? Let's listen again. We've got to stop him. I've got a bad feeling about this. That's not D Baker. You're right. Who is doing that voice? This can't be good. No. Eat laser clickers. We're completely exposed. Interesting. It's like they got someone to do voice matching for D Baker, which is hilarious because D Baker's whole job is doing voice matching for Tim. So that is D Baker. Is that confirmed? Because it does. There's something about it that just. Where's the speaker on this thing? I've got a bad feeling about this. Oh, the speaker is the front. No. Very interesting. What's the other setting on here? Is this just... That's without the voice... Okay. And that's sound effects without the voice changer. This can't be good. Nice. That's actually more fun than the usual... That's more fun than the usual Black Series helmets in that they just give you the voice modulator. Having like the phrases, that's pretty cool because then you can do your clone impersonation with like a perfect impression. Or near perfect, because that didn't quite sound like. Yeah, I'm sure it is archived audio. I don't imagine that it would be anything else, but like, why didn't it sound quite like Tim or D? This is the Star Wars 187th Clone Trooper helmet that's available at Galaxy's Edge, and I believe on the Disney Plus store, their website. I picked it up in person at the Trading Post. It's a pretty fine helmet. I can't recommend it to you in terms of comfort. Like wearing it was kind of a bitch, but it does have like an expanding back part, which is really awesome if you've got a larger head. And having the little voice changer on the side, I would say, is definitely a plus. Yeah, I wish the other helmets could talk like that. That would actually be great. Yeah, the 187th is it's an interesting choice, and I wonder if Sam Jackson requested the 187th or if he was even asked what Legion would you want. The irony is not lost on me that 187 is the California Penal Code for homicide. You know, like, is it a coincidence that Sam Jackson got 187 for his for his clone legion. I've never seen anyone comment on that before, and I've always wondered if that was just like a running joke, you know? You know, I find that it's when Disneyland is in your backyard, it's even harder to get you to get off your ass and go. When it's like a whole trip, you got to fly to the place that, like, it's an undertaking, and you've got more motivation to do it. So, like, honestly, I feel that. I totally understand. He did. He also started. That's right. He also started in 187. So that's totally a reference. It's got to be a reference. Oh yeah, yeah. It's the California Penal Code for homicide. 187. Comparing the visors here, one thing that I noticed when I was wearing it is that visibility was terrible. I could not see anything. Look at the relationship between the plastic of like the face part and the top of the visor. How much thinner it is on this one than on this one. Let me try and side by side them here. Can't see anything in this one. This one actually has a pretty good field of view on it, interestingly enough. It's a much bigger helmet, but this one came in a much bigger box. And I don't think there's anything really to read into that other than it's a completely different company with their own packaging habits, you know. But I'm happy with it. Honestly, I'm very happy with it. I think it's going to look killer on the shelf. Probably not going to wear this one too often if I can avoid it, because like my nose is still kind of sore from putting that on. Yeah, no, it's a good helmet though. It really is a good helmet. And I'm really happy to see that Disney's getting into the helmet game and that Hasbro does not have the pure monopoly on it anymore, because this means that any sort of idea that Hasbro, the Black Series, passed on could still make it into production with this other organization, you know? Like, I'm sure the 187th had been floated before, and the Black Series was like, we'll pass on that, and we'll do the 332nd instead. Tie-ins with Ahsoka. Like you were saying earlier, the Sabine helmet, I'm sure, is coming up soon. I've got my fingers crossed that because we're getting the Endor Scout Trooper helmet really soon, that we get an Ezra Bridger painted variant as well. I would love that. It's one of my favorite custom helmets. It's the one that Ezra has that Sabine paints like the bright orange. It looks so good. The 187th was not in Battlefront 2018. No. The 327th Star Corps made it in there. The 41st Recon was in there. But yeah, no, there wasn't a 187th in there. Cody helmet is a must. It's a must, especially now that we've got a Rex helmet. And just to... Actually, let me do it this way. Yeah. Speaking of a Cody helmet, I would love to get one. But after the ending of the Bad Batch, we have no idea where Cody is. He went AWOL, presumably, and then he never came back into the fold the way that I thought that he would. So I don't expect us to get that Cody helmet until we get whatever the next installment of Cody's story is going to be. You know what I mean? I know, the Ezra helmet, dude, is so good. It's so good. Have I ever customized any helmets yourself? Yes, I have done one custom job. Let me show you. Speaking of Battlefront. So it's kind of fallen into a state of disrepair. The breathing tube is no longer connected. But this is my Battlefront 2015 Magma Trooper, which is a standard Black Series Stormtrooper helmet that I then customized, 3D printed this. Currently the battery is dead, but this does have a blinking red light in it right there. And then there's a tube which hooks into this and connects to the front. I can't quite get it to connect right now. I need to actually repair this helmet. But yeah, exactly, the Sullust Trooper. Exactly. When Battlefront 2015 came out, I was just obsessed with the look of the Magma Troopers, because they were just like the iconic look with just these tiny little additions that really like gave them a new, refreshed feeling. And this was one of the very first helmets that I collected. This was back when the Black Series first came out with Stormtrooper helmets. And I kind of went crazy and got like 3 of them. I was like, okay, 1 for the box, 1 to display. and one to like do whatever with. And the whatever that I did with it was I turned it into a magma trooper here. So you guys can't see it, but I have a massive magma trooper on the wall in front of my desk here because I have like the movie theater size Battlefront 2 poster that came out, or Battlefront poster that came out. Yeah, big fan of the magma trooper. So this is the only custom Black Series that I've done. I do have other custom helmets, but they're not Black Series. Like, for example, this Boba Fett helmet is scratch built by my brother. He made the entire thing by hand. And this was before Black Series even made a Boba helmet. Like, you couldn't get Boba helmets cheaply anyway back in the day. Whole thing is really like duct tape in place. It's got all foam padding and stuff inside there. The way he did the paint job is that he painted the entire thing with like a metallic alloy, and then he rubbed like a kind of mustard on it to like eat away a layer of the paint the exact same way like that rust works, like on a chemical level, to get the rust looking like super accurate. And then he like laid it. That's my brother though. He's all about like doing things with like a really methodic process and insane killer results. Dude is really talented. But he got me this for Christmas. He made it for me God, like 10 years ago now. Yeah, this is another custom that I have. And I'm holding it weirdly because the viewfinder's ready to fall off. Yeah, don't look too closely at the helmets. They're all in like a terrible state of disrepair at this point. Yeah, my brother puts me to shame when it comes to like being creative and inventive and building things. He's the guy with the 3D printer that I know. You know, I don't have one myself. So whenever I say I printed this, what I really mean is my brother printed it for me after I bugged him about it and sent him a bunch of STL files. I would love a Starkiller helmet. I don't have any. No. The Sith Stalker from like the evil version ending of the game. God, it's so good. I was really, really, really happy to see it in Andor. Well, it wasn't literally it, but it was absolutely the face of it, like built into a different kind of like a headdress of the mask. Because Andor was not suggesting that Starkiller is real and that stuff happened. He's just saying this mask is real. It's in the galaxy, and Luthen has it in his antique shop now. But like, God, it's such a good design. Such a good design. Oh yeah, while we're on the subject, I would say my favorite new helmet that we've gotten recently, Tales of the Empire, episodes 4, 5, and 6. Barris's Inquisitor helmet. It's so cool. I love it. It's like, what if Ralph McQuarrie did an Inquisitor helmet? That's pretty much like the sensibility that you get. It's like the bounty hunter helmet that Obi-Wan wears when he's being Reiko Hardeen. It's like if you take that and combine it with like that first McQuarrie design of a stormtrooper and put them together, like that's pretty much what that Inquisitor helmet looked like. It was so cool. So cool. Definitely had a helmet nerd moment when I saw that thing for the first time. You know what else it tells you in the Wii version of the... Okay, you're talking the Force Unleashed too. Well, in the Wii version of the Force Unleashed, you got to meet Cleef, the Gungan bounty hunter. One of my all-time favorite Glup Shittos. And he's the guy that I based my Star Wars D&D character on. His name is Zeef, and he's a Gungan detective. He's not a bounty hunter, but I saw him and I was like, you are my role model, dude. Yusa are my role model. Yeah, Trilla also has a really good helmet from Jedi Fallen Order. She had a great one. I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out hope that the Black Series is going to announce Bad Batch helmets. I'm a little nervous at this point because if I was Hasbro and I was announcing Bad Batch helmets, I would do it between the second to last and final season, not after the show is completely concluded, because hype is at an all-time high before the final season, not after it, you know? So the fact that they waited for that window to come and go makes me nervous that maybe that announcement isn't going to come, but like, yeah, no, I need a crosshair on my shelf yesterday. They could do like all the different variants because they painted their helmets so many times too. We could get a season 1 collection, a season 2 collection. They won't do it though. It'd be like printing money. We'd eat it up, but they won't do it. They won't do it. Ooh, now there's a question. You know, I think about that helmet from the Acolyte, and I don't know. I don't even know what to think about it. It has teeth. It looks like it's got teeth, or like a big old like zipper going down. It looks less like a helmet worn by a dark side like force using warrior, and more like a helmet that like a German DJ would wear at a club. You know what I mean? That's kind of the vibe that I get from it. Less evil Sith organization and more like S&M bar. But maybe that's what the High Republic is all about. You know, actually, I've read a few books that would suggest that maybe that is what the High Republic is all about. Actually, we just don't know. If you're cool, you know. I like it too. I'm like intrigued by it, and I need to see it from more angles, and I need to know what it's all about, why it looks that way. I'm not gonna say I don't like it. Like I definitely like it. I'm confused by it. I'm confounded by it. Never have I seen such a thing in Star Wars, you know? I think that we're going to come out of this show without a satisfying answer in either direction to that question. I think that they're going to deliberately leave it open-ended so that you can decide for yourself if the lineage is or is not of that specific line, you know? I don't think they're willing to cross that, like pull at that thread and give us an answer one way or the other. So they're going to leave that up to headcanon. That would be my guess. You know, I would say that we got live action Geode. People don't realize it, but he actually crash landed on Endor, and he was trapped there for thousands of years. And then in Return of the Jedi, an Ewok picks him up and throws him at a stormtrooper from on top of a big fallen tree. That's Geode's cameo. He's one of the rocks that gets thrown in the Empire in the Return of the Jedi. Totally. Again, a whole series of helmets that would have been great collectible pieces, but they never did it. And The Force Awakens is like long behind us now, and we're never like that hype is gone. We're not gonna, the window for announcing that has long passed as well. But like, can you imagine if they'd given us all of the Bad Batch, all of the Knights of Ren, if we had at least the clone commanders and one trooper from every battalion that we'd seen? There's no limit to the helmets that we could have gotten by now. And I don't begrudge Hasbro for taking their time, because they are giving us pretty high quality products in the end result here. Like, big fan of the Phase 2. If Star Wars can keep doing what they're doing with these, I think we'll all be pretty happy campers, because now we're going to have two separate teams coming up with concepts for us. Do tell me more. But if you're not able to tell me more, send me a DM and then tell me more in secret. Yeah, that was a great time, man. I'm glad we got to hang out. I think more than likely the dark force user in the Acolyte is going to be someone who is misguided and being like sold a bill of goods about the dark side being better, because that seems to be always the way that they recruit new people, you know? That would be my suspicion. Favorite helmet right now? I mean, this one's up there just because I'm always excited for new things, you know? But thinking about that for a second, I think my favorite new helmet, or my favorite helmet at the moment, is still going to be the custom Mandalorian Stormbringer helmet for Star Wars The Old Republic. Let me show you that one. Look at this. Got this one in the cartel market, you know, as you do. This was 3D printed for me and sent to me by a viewer, by one of my friends on Discord named Splinter. Yeah, love this thing. I assembled it and painted it myself. It still does not have a visor, as you can see from right here. But yeah, this is the Mandalorian Stormbringer helmet with a Cartel Boss die pack on it. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this one. Oh, and as a special shout out, I have to say, the Sith Trooper helmet is clean. This is such a comfortable helmet. I think this might be the most comfortable helmet the Black Series has ever come up with. Pretty nice black and red interior. Again, it's pretty low profile and devoid on details. It's kind of the way the Star Wars one was. But ironically, this one is really comfortable to wear. So I'm not sure what the difference is there, but yeah, big fan of this. Not so much the 187th for comfort. I don't have an armor or helmet. As far as I know, there's not one available at this point. Yeah, consider me waiting for one. If one comes out, I'll definitely grab that because I've got a lot of Mando helmets, but you're right. I'm terribly sorry. I called it a Sith Trooper. It's not. It's the Captain Cardinal helmet is really what it is. And I don't have the Sith Trooper. That's the one with like the ridged, like ribbed striations on the face. But the one that I have is Captain Cardinal, and it is very, very comfortable to wear. Yeah, update on that. I taped my reactions to Fallout. It's all sitting on a hard drive. I just haven't edited any of it and gotten it up on either Patreon or YouTube, but it is coming. As always, I'm going to be nice and late to the party. Sorry about that. A lot of things kind of got in the way of me editing that lickety split. I'm also sitting on a mountain of Shogun reactions, which I'm hoping to get out to people in the future. But I'm just going to have to ask for some patience on that front. But it is coming. It is coming. Both shows. Oh man, don't tell me these things. My wallet doesn't need to know that the Lego Barradura is coming out. Sometimes I just need to not know that it exists because I know I'm going to waste my money on it. Whatever, it'll make me happy. Is it a waste if it makes you happy? You know, not really. Not really. Shogun was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Yes, lots of good stuff is coming soon. Just hang in there, and as soon as I get it all edited and up, it's a party. Absolutely. The with the Cardinal helmet. Now you're just rubbing salt in the wound. Salted pork. That was a hell of a segue. Oh my goodness. But yeah, in conclusion about the helmet, I'll just wrap it up about the 187th Clone Trooper helmet. I am very happy to see that Disney's getting into the game. I hope to see more of this. The notion of getting just such an obscure Legion as the 187th makes me very hopeful that we're going to get more beloved units soon. You know, like we've got the 332nd over at Black Series, but what about the 501st? What about the 327th? You know, what about the 41st Recon? What about all of our favorites? So while this is a great helmet, it really just like leaves me hungry for more, because as exciting as this helmet is, the potential for what could follow it is even more exciting. I think that's my main takeaway from this one. And the fact that the expanding back piece, that's pretty genius. That's pretty great. That's going to really like save someone who is going to buy this and try and put it on their head and be really disappointed that it doesn't fit. Well, now you've got some hope. And rebellions are built on hope, are they not? Exactly. I mean, I completely agree with you. I watch Star Wars to have a good time. You know, if you're watching Star Wars and it's starting to stress you out, maybe take a break. Maybe I hate to say that you're doing it wrong, but like I don't think it's supposed to stress you out. And it's tricky too, though, because with a lot of people that get like bent out of shape about changes being made to Star Wars or things not being accurate and adaptations and this and that, it really does come from a place of love. It comes from a place of like very extreme, unbridled passion for this thing that people don't necessarily know how to interpret or like how to express it themselves. They just know how deeply and strongly they feel about it. And that leads to very strong, you know, emotional reactions. Instead of being like, oh, well, I didn't care for that, suddenly it turns into, oh, I hate this and it's the worst, because you're very invested on a deep level with how this is handled. And I understand that. I do. Even when it's being directed at me for comments that I've made on YouTube and people are yelling at me about Star Wars, it's like, okay, A, leave me alone, but B, I get it. I totally get it. Like I do, because I feel the same way on many levels about a lot of the things that get done. You know, that is one of the things that has been so hard for me to answer, and I've been asked that question so many times. And I honestly, my official answer is I don't know. I don't even know how I would rank them. Maybe someday I will release a ranking of Star Wars, but I'm just not that kind of fan. It's so hard for me to, like, I visualize it as a single connected thing and not as the sum of its parts. And so it's just hard for me to quantify that question in the first place, but I will work on giving an answer to that. At some point, I'm going to drop a ranking video saying what my personal ranking is. It looks more colorful online. Interesting, because I thought that the colors looked really muted on the box, and it kind of like pops in person a bit more than I was expecting it to. It's just tricky, you know, it's just hard. Oh my goodness. He's still turned on. Good for you. You got a bad feeling about it because you're about to murder all the Jedi, buddy. Poor clones. They did not get a good rap on that one. But yeah, I'm happy with this helmet. You can look for it in the background on the shelf in the coming reactions. I think it's going to be, the padding might help lift the helmet up off your nose. You know, I thought about that, but the thing is, the padding attaches to the sides, and if anything, it's going to stop the helmet from sliding around on the back of my head. There isn't really anything between me and this very aggressive little piece of plastic in here. I will, you know, for the sake of the stream, I will suffer for my art, and I will put this on one more time so those of you who are joining us late can see what it looks like when you're wearing it. But I will tell you right now, this is not a comfortable fit. Not for me. And it's not this. It's this. It's the front that's the problem, all right? Let's see what we can do. Yeah, I mean, it's a very snug fit on the face to the point where I have to kind of wear it sideways. Like, my eyes are actually looking off like over there right now. But as a display piece, couldn't be happier with it. Honestly, it looks great on camera. It looks really good in person too. And the sound phrases, that's awesome. I think that's really, really cool. Yeah, so in conclusion, pick one of these up. Don't have to worry about sizing. I would really recommend this as a display piece. And if your nose is smaller than mine, I'd probably recommend it as a cosplay piece as well. And having the voice changer and the helmet like button for phrases, that's just like an added bonus. That's just a cherry on top. It's a Mailuron on top. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's outstanding. I'm definitely putting that one straight on the shelf. Well, thanks so much for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed my unboxing of the 187th Clone Trooper helmet. How much was it? Indeed, it was just over $120 at the trading post. And I'm not sure if that was a May 4th discount or if that's the standard price, but that's what I paid for it. So I got it at Galaxy's Edge at the trading post on May 4th. And I had no idea that it was even coming out. Like, maybe I missed the announcement, but I think they kind of just like secretly rolled it out when they came out with this one. Oh, wow. Okay. So I could have saved some money if I got it on the website. Well, I didn't even know if it was going to be available after the day. I just kind of got caught up in the moment. It's Star Wars Day. I'm at Galaxy's Edge. I see a brand new Clone Trooper helmet that I'd never seen before. I'm not made of stone. All right. I'm gonna get the helmet. It's gonna happen. Yeah, no. Really satisfied with this bucket. Can't wait to unbox the next one, which will be coming, which I believe is the Clone Trooper, the Scout Trooper Endor biker helmet from Return of the Jedi. I believe that's the next one on the way. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, everybody. And as always, may the Force be with you.